The BodyArmor Pro Series has seen one winner in its first 3 races, and that driver is none other than Blaine Keys. 75 total points for Blaine coming into this 4th race of the season, and an opportunity to go 4 for 4 to open up the season. And not only that, tie Nicholas Samadillo on the all-time wins list. However, we are at what is probably the trickiest race to win from the back of the field, or one of the trickiest races to win from the back of the field, as we are on a road course, our first road course of the season, as we head to Southern California and the Willow Springs International Raceway. The BodyArmor Pro Series is back, and we're here for the Grand Prix of California, inviting the BodyArmor LYTE Series West as well for their 4th race of the season, here from the Willow Springs International Raceway. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Willow Springs International Raceway here in Rosamond, California. We already had the Sprint Series here last night. I'm sure that was an excellent race, as it always is. IndyCar is here tomorrow, just like last week when we were at COTA. But unlike last week at COTA, we got the Pro Series drivers here in this race instead of the E-Series drivers. And we got ourselves a 40-car field for this BodyArmor Pro Series race here today at Willow Springs International Raceway. Joined alongside Eddie Debs and Travis Crampton for the call of this race. And Eddie, I'm going to start off with you. You have seen Blaine Keys win 2 of these 3 races so far. Of course, he's won all 3 of them to start off this season. He starts in the 12th position here today. What does he need to do to get 4 in a row to open up this BodyArmor Pro Series season?
He's going to do and be able to pull off, I would imagine, a strategy that is very much unique to this race and this race only, and that is work with teammates. Blaine Keys, as the CEO, I guess, of BK Industries, has, ironically, Caleb Rose and Nicholas Cameron with him today, and in that way, he basically has 2 guys who can help him. I don't know what you can imagine there. I imagine X-Wings, but just sort of steer the fleet. And if those guys, even though they're at the back, and he's much farther ahead, if he can hook up with some of those guys, I know this is a road course, so hooking up does not help you necessarily. He might have, just a better chance because he's got more people in the field to be willing to work with him. However, I say that at the same time as could say it for Leonard Kochmer, Stuart Gratton, or Matt Tuck, who also have a couple of friends here in this race. And other than that, I don't think there's any much else of a strategy. Again, with a road course and being in the middle of the field, you're kind of in the worst possible position, because if you don't pull away from people, the chances that someone misses a braking spot and just nails you in the back, as we've seen at Circuit of the Americas a couple of weeks ago, that's it's really easy to have your race either end or to end up falling out of it just because of other drivers causing issues. So I'd have to imagine he has to use a couple of his buddies to get him ahead in this race and then get to 4 and 4. I just don't know if it's that feasible of a plan to get him to the win.
And we'll have to see how it ends up working out for him. There's still a very good chance he'll end up getting points in this race here today. But the very unique thing about this race for the Pro Series drivers is they have 16 other drivers in the field, and 2 of those drivers are on your team, Travis. Of course, Kyler Sustry won a couple of weeks ago at Kern County. He also got Max Davis in this race. For those West Series drivers who are starting in the back of the field, the odds of them winning this race are really not there, but they are going for points in the West Series. So what did they need to do in their strategy here today to get the most points possible towards the West Series championship?
Well, they got to stay out of trouble. It's a road course, so staying on track is priority number 1. And with them being in the back, they also have to deal with the Pro Series drivers. And if they make a mistake, that could cause a track blocker or an incident, and they don't want to be any a part of that. And for the Pro drivers, they got West drivers who can take their points away. So an interesting dynamic between the 2 series, and it should provide for a very entertaining race here.
It definitely will, and of course the way it works out, this is a BodyArmor Pro Series race first, so that means only the top 10 finishers here today will receive championship points towards the BodyArmor Pro Series, regardless of the series they are in. That's kind of how it works in the LYTE Series as well. If a Pro Series driver races in a LYTE Series race, they can take the points away from the LYTE Series. Well, it's the other way around here today because this is an official BodyArmor Pro Series race. However, the top 10 finishers in the West Series specifically will receive championship points in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West, very similar to how it was done last week at COTA. And if you don't win the race, you get 10 points. If you do happen to win the overall event, you will get those 2 bonus points towards the West Series Championship. Otherwise, you will just get 10 points for being the highest finisher in the West Series. But it is first and foremost a Pro Series race. And Audra Baranowska starts on the pole for this one, but this is how they line up in the points. Blaine Keys has 36 points on the field. That is well over a race win worth of points. Only 3 races into the season, which is a lot. But it is still 22 races left to go in the season, so it is far from over. And if you rack up a couple of wins, and Stuart Gratton's in position to win here today, who is the driver second in points, you can definitely find yourself back in that championship battle very quick. But Gratton, 36 points behind Leonard Kochmer, a great season. He also starts top 5 here today. He's 45 points behind. Logan Williams is 49 points behind. He also starts top 5 here today. And Andrew Miller, 52 points behind coming into this race. Only 4 drivers actually have more than a race win worth of points coming into this one here today in the Pro Series, which is rather fascinating. And then over in the West Series, and we'll show you guys how they line up back here as well. You got Marcus Glitch, who is the highest qualifier for the West Series in this race. And of course, the starting lineup for the Pro Series determined by the fastest lap at Daytona. These guys did actually qualify in the West Series like they normally do. So Marcus Glitch and Kyler Sustry on the front row for the West Series drivers specifically. And this is how they line up in the points over there after 3 races. Skep Silver back in the points lead. He's got 22 points in total. 3 points behind him is Owen Miles, who was the highest finisher at COTA last week, but he only got 10 points for that. Ryan Durrani is also 3 points behind Nicholas Cameron, 7 behind, and Kyler Sustry 10 points behind coming into this one here today. Of course, this is a Pro Series race first and foremost, so our main focus will be on the race win, but we'll focus on those West Series drivers as they will be gaining points in their respective championships here today as well. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here from the Willow Springs International Raceway. And as I mentioned, Audra Baranowska starting on the pole position here today for this Grand Prix of California. Of course, the starting lineup for the Pro Series driver set by the fastest lap at Daytona, and Baranowska's had the fastest lap in that race, which of course that is a super speedway, and those fastest laps are going left and right throughout that entire event. But the Velocitar team is looking strong as well. Nathan Stapleton starting second, and Logan Williams starting in fourth alongside Stuart Gratton there in row number 2. Leonard Kochmer, Jack Haas in row number 3. Rogel Dorn, Matthew Hubert in row 4. Justin Seidel and Harry Larvin Alonso in row 5. Then down over to the West Series drivers. Of course, they start behind all the Pro Series drivers, and like I mentioned, they did qualify on their own. So Marcus Glitch with the quote-unquote pole for the West Series here today, alongside Kyler Sustry, winner at Bakersfield a couple of weeks ago. Zane Davison and Rashia Mahendra make up row number 2. Of course, Zane Davison looking for his first points of the season. You got Nicholas Cameron, Henry Brown, J.R. Ribbleton, Skep Silver, Keegan Thompson, Mauricio Vebelis there, the top 10 in the West Series. All the way down to Owen Miles, who got the 10 points at COTA for the West Series. Ryose Fujimoto got the overall win in that one. All right, quickly, Eddie and then Travis. Who's going to victory lane here in this Grand Prix of California?
A wise man once said only the top 6 could feasibly win a road course. I say it's the guy behind him. It's the 8th place position. That's Matthew Hubert. I think he goes to victory lane.
And for me, I think the guy second in points, Stuart Gratton, he's going to have a good day. Starts up front. Track position will be key. I think Stuart will gain many points on Blaine Keys and win today here at Willow Springs.
We'll have to see what he can do there, driving the number 35 machine. He's been close. He's finished top 5 in every race so far this season and is still 36 points behind, and he's voiced his frustration about that. Well, here we go. We're ready to get this one started here from Willow Springs International Raceway. It's going to be a fun one here today. We're Green Flag Racing here in the Grand Prix of California in the BodyArmor Pro Series. And a nice start to this race. No contact, no major contact to start off, and a good jump for Audra Baranowskis in the one machine. They are racing very hard for second. There goes Stapleton to the inside of Grattan. And a lot of elevation changes around this racetrack. However, we do not anticipate seeing the same issue we saw last week when we had the COTA race and these guys over braking. It's a very flowing racetrack. There are not pretty much any heavy braking zones around this place, and it is a very fast racetrack as well. And we're about to complete lap number 1 with Audra Baranowskis out front, Nathan Stapleton, Logan Williams, Stuart Grattan, Leonard Kochmer, Rogal Dorn, Matthew Hubert, Jack Haas, and Blaine Keys is in the points, though he isn't close to the race lead. But Nathan Stapleton is, and look at this 63, look to close in there, and Audra Baranowskis for the top position.
Something that neither Stuart Grattan nor Leonard Kochmer nor I think anyone else in the BAPS roster wanted to see was, I mean, yeah, the 14 car getting off to what is 9th place, probably going to move up to 8th place very soon. That's just, you've got to imagine everyone's going to be wanting to fight and just get that car in their rearview mirror, but ooh, alright, got distracted. Hubert looked like he was trying to go for a move on Grattan and did not pay off. But yeah, no, that 14 car, it's getting by people as the 23 goes for what looked to be a little slowdown. It's 3 wide back there. That's not going to work. Ooh. And people just missing off that corner, too.
You got these West Series drivers in the back here that are racing hard. They're the ones going 3 wide, and none of the West Series guys have gotten around the Pro Series drivers yet. You got Marcus Glitch, who is leading the West Series. Rashia Mahendra, who did not have a good race at COTA. They fell off quite a bit at the end of that one. They are in second right now. Kyler Sestrai, Nicholas Cameron, and J.R. Ribbleton. Of course, highest finisher only gets 10 points, assuming they don't win the overall race. And right now, that is Marcus Glitch there, driving for Leonard Kochmer's team. Leonard Kochmer further up in the field as a driver. And he's currently in the 4th position there, battling with Rogal Dorn for that one. Blaine Keys and Stuart Grattan are right on each other. Not a good start for Stuart there. And he kind of fell off right there, and he's about to lose another position here to Blaine Keys as Ladovic Charette holds on to the last point right now for the Pro Series drivers.
Yeah, and I was going to talk about Stuart, because Stuart got up to second on that restart point. One of his Alliance cars, Nathan, funny enough, pushed him off the racetrack, and then after that, we saw the contact between Stuart Grattan and Matthew Hubert, and now it's just gone from bad to worse. Stuart has to try to rebound his way, and track position is going to be key, so getting those positions back is not going to be an easy task.
And Stewart kind of mired back in here with Blaine Keys, and he's going to lose that position to Blaine. He may even fall outside the top 10. Ladovic Charette, Isaac Nichols right there as well for those positions. But how about Audra Baranowskis? A very good run for the defending Indy 250 champion. And hey, once you know it, we're less than 3 months away from that Indianapolis 250. We are excited for that one. And I know she is excited to defend that Indy 250 championship. Nathan Stapleton trying to close in. I would think that Nathan might feel like he has an advantage on Baranowskis, but we'll have to see if that ends up being the case. Logan Williams there, also looking very strong in the 83 machine. Logan's had a solid start to the season, and so has Leonard Kochmer. They're both top 5 in this race, and both top 5 in the points coming into this one here today. Check back in on the West Series drivers, and how about Marcus Glitch getting around LJ Semedo right there. Drew Webb's also fallen off in the 18. A little interesting to see after what we saw last week at COTA. But Marcus Glitch with a good run in the West Series right now. He's got to be careful not to get taken out by LJ Semedo, who, he has a history of taking out drivers in the West Series. Just ask Aiden Davidson and what LJ did in the Coliseum race. Aiden is in the points for the West Series right now. I tell you, we got someone off. Sam Adio's off, and that's just 2 in a row. He got off, and he's got a lot of damage in that 48 machine. He went off at COTA and never recovered from that, and more struggles for Nicholas here. I'm sure he is looking forward to getting off the road course here on the channel as Logan Williams gets around Nathan Stapleton there for second. Oh, but Stapleton looking to cross back over.
Ooh, got the inside. It's going to come down to what will probably be a drag race in the turn 1. Oh, God, they just forced him wide.
Rogel's going to follow suit.
Yeah. I mean, what I've been watching mostly is everyone around Blaine Keys right now. Keys is just attracting so much attention. Again, what I talked about. He's got 4 cars. I think you can add on a 5th back there in the 88 of Isaac Nichols, just battling for what is, the last couple of point spots. And again, like I said, you just want to keep this guy in your rearview mirror for the rest of this series. The next 20 races, you're going to want to make sure this guy does not finish ahead of you no matter what. And does not finish ahead of you in terms of points. But we're coming up to a very sketchy section. We just saw San Diego go off. Does any funny business go on? Not really. I think he's just going to gear up for a really sharp right as there goes. Wow, holy cow, where'd Rogel Dorn come from?
All the way up to second, got around Logan Williams, and then got around Nathan right there. And Rogel is fast, and you know, if you've been watching the Wawa Cup Series, you may notice that Rogel has not been running near as well as we would anticipate him, and you know, I'm just going to say this right now, that's not his fault. He's got a chance here to make up for that here in the Pro Series, and he's got a shot at winning this race here today now. Closing up to Audrey Baranowskis. Logan and Nathan are still going after it. Probably going to make Matt Tuck a little nervous. Of course, it's not the Wawa Cup Series and his two drivers over there, but still, you know, I know Matt wants to have some success as Troxel and Alonso get into each other back in there.
Oh, brother.
Ooh, that was kind of tight. Here we got one number 10, and we got another number 10. Marcus Glitch is officially 0-10 here today, but he is still highest of the West Series drivers. And, you know, he's gotten around a couple of the Pro Series drivers as well. I'm sure you're impressed with that one, aren't you, Travis?
Yeah, and whoever that is behind him has some side damage. Might have gotten that from
Carson Miller.
San Diego incident.
Carson Miller does have some damage in the 21 machine, so some of these Pro Series drivers are struggling here today, including Drew Webb, who is struggling the worst of the Pro Series drivers in this one. And, oh no! Oh no! That's a massive shot there! That is Max Davis and Nicholas Cameron, and then Caleb Rose decided to spin right there with him. That's not a good incident there for Blaine Key's team. And you know what? That's all you gotta do. That's all you got to do. Rogel Dorn has taken the race lead away from Audrey Baranowskis here on lap number 6.
Hey, Rogel doesn't have any points, so this would be huge for him to get 25 today. Sorry about your driver there, Travis. That looked awful. I hope that car is okay and can get back to running later, but man. I mean, of course, what do you expect at Willow Springs for us to see just a massive crash and then we miss a lead change? That just seems like perfect for 2.5 miles of pure flowing track. You're just gonna get those moments. But yeah, this might be Rogel Dorn's big redemption. I don't want to say story, but it might as well be, because I mean he got past Baranowskis fast, and by the looks of things, assuming hits cycle out the way we expect, I don't know if he's gonna lose anything anymore. He might just be gone. We'll have to see. Ski's up to 7th.
Well, he's mad about what happened. They told him over the radio his team got taken out.
Oh, yeah. And worse, he's around Koshmer and Grattan, two other owners in the BodyArmor LYTE series. You know, he's racing them hard, as they probably are too, trying to get ahead of him, make sure they can gain some points on him. Logan, come on, man.
These two have been battling the entire race.
Yeah, no, Someone get the security to the garage. We may need to check on things. Oh man, Matthew Huber, what are you doing?
Hey, they've raced clean. I will give them that. They've raced hard, but they have raced clean. I'm sure Matt Tuck's happy about that. You know, we like to see good, hard racing, and we have absolutely seen that here today, here at Willow Springs. Nathan Stapleton going to lose another position there to Matthew Hubert, and cue the Jaws theme. You know what? I don't want to say it, but Blaine's got a shot at winning this one too, and I say that because he's almost in the top 5, and we got that cycle of pit stops just around the corner. He could actually have an opportunity to play him that to his advantage. He is only 2.5 seconds off of Rogel Dorn, and it's not like Rogel's pulling away from Baranowskis here either. However, it's getting interesting. Max Davis off the pace from that incident that we just saw a couple laps ago. Marcus Glitch in the 10 machine, still holding on to the West Series lead right now. He's got that made pretty easily since he's got a couple of Pro Series drivers behind him there. Rashi Mahendra in 2nd. Zayden Davison still trying to get his first points in the West Series. Here he is in 3rd. Good run for him. J.R. Ribbleton, Trey Wright. Ben Nowak's team having a good run. And Drew Webb not having a good run. That's a shame for Drew. But it's the way this series works out sometimes. You know, you just never know what you're going to get. And all these guys, keep in mind, have had the same amount of ratings adjustments. This is the 4th race for both of these series, so these guys are essentially on equal footing. The LYTE Series drivers just had to start behind the Pro Series drivers, and that was their disadvantage. And oh no, Matthew Hubert with an internal issue. What is it? That's a tire down on the 15, and that thing is done. He's not getting back around. These guys
Watch out.
are actually slowing up behind him because he just stopped on the racetrack. And keep in mind, we're on the road course as Caleb Rose has gone around again, and we got a lot of guys back in there going around. Owen Miles back in there. Henry Brown, Skep Silver. And Skep Silver's going to take himself out.
Oh my God.
And so will Owen Miles.
That's more than a commentator's curse. That's a comment. I don't even know the next level of curse that would be. That was just like light. That was what the heck was that?
Oh my
like
goodness!
A tornado just appeared on the racetrack and just started taking everyone out. And as I say that, of course, Blaine Keys is starting to gain positions again. Because why not? Oh man!
This is what happens when I pick Stuart Grattan. Both of his cars.
Well,
are wrecked,
Stuart Grattan himself is still out there. Hubert is not anymore.
Well, you know what a couple people have said. You know, they call it the race of all time. This is certainly shaping up to be one of them by the looks of things. Oh man, we still got pit stops to go, which is, as we've seen with Coda, that's just going to make everything even more hectic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, all those LYTE Series drivers just. You know, a couple of Pro Series just got held up there, and there's nothing they can do. They're just going to keep fighting for stuff. Oh boy.
Rashia Mahendra actually lost some positions from all that, I believe. They're down in 5th overall, or 5th, not 5th overall, but actually 4th in the West. And Zayden Davidson is having a good run in. You know, Marcus Glitch is comfortably just riding, you know, that top spot. It's not going to be an official win, of course, but still getting those 10 points is a big deal in terms of the championship. And we'll have to see what he can do as this race runs along. You know, the nice thing about that is it's not really going to affect the battle for the win overall, as I would expect this cycle to begin right here. And Travis, you know, what do you do here on the cycle of pit stops? The tires are a factor here, but what's the best strategy as we move on into our cycle here in just a moment? Baranowski is going to be the first one to come down right here. Everyone else looking to stay out.
Honestly, I was going to say the undercut because of what just happened. These guys have a big lead now because of Hubert stopping on the racetrack, and you might get some clean air here. And with fresh tires and some fuel, obviously you're going to have clean air, I'm assuming. And with that being said, the overcut could work depending on how much fuel you need to take.
Well, Baranowskis is the only one doing the overcut right now. So we'll have to see how that ends up working out. Hey, Caleb Rose has spun around twice in this race, though he may still be in a position to possibly get points in this one, which is fascinating to think about. And we'll have to see if that ends up working out for him or not. Of course, Henry Brown went around in that exchange, but so did Owen Miles. And who was the other one? Can't remember who the other one was. Henry Brown.
Skep Silver?
Skep Silver, you're right. Not Henry Brown. Skep Silver.
Yeah.
Skep took himself out entirely, I'm pretty sure. I do not see him out on the racetrack, but Owen Miles is still out there and is actually right ahead of our race leader of Rogel Dorn, who has had an excellent race. He's actually now 3.5 seconds ahead of Blaine, which is, you know, the guy we're really monitoring in terms of that battle. We got Logan Williams, who is second, and everyone's going to be coming down right here. They got to be careful. Oh, Skep. There is Skep Silver, so he is back out there on the racetrack, which is good. So we'll see. We'll see how this works out for Rogel Dorn. And we'll see where Audra Baranowskis comes out in relation, because she's the only one that came in the lap before. We'll have to see if that 4 machine can beat her out here on the pit lane.
We'll have to see. I have not narrated a pit battle in a while, so just gonna see if there's any surprises coming up. It looks like, yeah, Rogel's gonna get out ahead of Blaine.
Logan's going to get out ahead of Blaine.
And Logan's going to get out in front of Blaine.
It'll be a little tight right here. Ooh, there's Baranowskis, who is flying at full speed. You know, it's a good thing it was only one driver that came down. Otherwise, we'd have a whole field of drivers coming in on these guys coming off the pit lane, and we've actually seen that become an issue before, as Thomas Troxel is done for the day. We're not at Coda anymore, but it sure looks like that's a Coda incident, and now he's holding these guys up. That happened on the pit lane. Man, the West Series drivers, and Marcus Glitch actually just got overtaken by Mahendra there for that top position in the West Series.
Oh, and what is
And,
he doing?
oh, I'm sorry you have to see this, Travis. All you gotta do is just drive around him, buddy. Troxel now going to be out of the race in the 10 machine. That is such a heartbreaker for him. You know, these West Series drivers, a lot of them are new. They are definitely experiencing something that they're probably not going to experience the rest of the season. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that really shuffled them up back in there in the West Series. I think Vebelist has the top spot right now with Zayden Davis in second in the West Series at the moment. But we'll check back in on that as we cycle back through. Back up to the lead. Rogeldorn, Audra Baranowskis, Logan Williams, Blaine Keys, Nathan Stapleton, Stuart Gratton, Ladovic, Charette, Leonard Kochmer, Matt Tuck's in the top 10, along with Jack Haas in the 57. And Keegan Thompson's down the pit lane right there, but Rogeldorn's in a good position to possibly win this race, but Audra Baranowskis has the heat in her tires, and she's trying to close in here on this 4 machine here on lap 13.
Yeah, that was what I call unfortunate for my drivers, but Rogeldorn, like you said, cold tires, gonna have to try to hold on, but it should be warm-ish at this point. Now a full lap and a half under those tires, and Baranowskis is gonna have a little bit more fuel as well due to pitting a little earlier. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes up as we get later in the run with the car being lighter. But that 4 is making some mistakes.
Not a good exchange up the hill right there. That's a tricky part of this racetrack. And of course, as you can tell, you know, they're sliding around all over the place, but they carry so much speed into these corners. As you got Nathan Stapleton battling with Ladovic Charette right here. And Stuart Gratton, I think, just got around both of them. He got around Stapleton, at least. I think Ladovic's trying to get around Stapleton as well. You got Kochmer back in this battle. And then Matt Tuck has gotten around Jack House. Justin Seidel just outside the top 10. Juan Romero is 12th. Alonso, Isaac Nichols. And this is the battle for the top position in the West Series between Zayden Davison and Mauricio Vebelis. And Zayden Davison doesn't even have a point yet in the West Series, looking to get his first 10 points of the season. He's got an opportunity of doing so, battling with Vebelis, even though it's not going to be for an official win. I'm sure those guys in the West Series definitely want to battle it out. You got J.R. Ribbleton, Trey Wright, Johnson Jameson, the top 5. Mahendra is 6th. Marcus Glitch fell all the way back to the 7th position. I believe Keegan Thompson is on the lead lap in 8th. Then you got Henry Brown in 9th. And then Max Davis. I think Max Davis has the last point right now in the West Series, even after getting caught up in that incident. What a wild day. This has been a fun race, and we're trying to capture all we can. We did our best with that last week at COTA with all the races, and we'll try to capture and replay as much as we can in the corner. But Rogeldorn is hoping nothing else happens, and he goes to victory lane here in 6 laps.
I'm going to have to wait to see if when they cross the line. I think Logan Williams is starting to catch both Baranowskis and Dorn. I don't know about whether Blaine Keys is doing so, but he seems he's just a little bit closer. My Savages might be fighting. We're just going to have to see if they come across the line. Yeah, Rogeldorn. Possible 25 points in the bag if he can hold on to it. We're really going to have to see where the times think out here right about it. That's not that much. Not as much as I thought. Same with Keys, so yeah, I think Blaine might not go 4 for 4, but Blaine might get a top 3 here, which is definitely going to be a problem, especially given Stuart Gratton and Leonard Kochmer. If they don't pick up the pace, they're going to finish behind him, and that is not where they want to finish. Because in the end, 2 to 3 drivers finishing ahead of Blaine might help them, but it doesn't help the rest of the field catch up. And then again, if you wanted to see a fair standing, fair and equal, pretty balanced, you're probably liking this race so far, considering Rogeldorn and Audra Baranowskis have a combined 1 point so far this season. And they're looking to get a combined 43 here today as the Tourette gets past Stapleton. Yeah, Stapleton, who's had a interesting race to say the least, but he has not had the pace of people he was fighting with earlier.
It looks like he'll still get points. He's running 6th right now. Kochmer, Matt Tuck's got a fast car. He's up to 9th, but he's closed right in on Kochmer and Stapleton, and he might be able to get around him before the end of this thing. I think Logan should be able to get around Baranowskis because we got a lap fresher tires on the 83-14, and that will come into effect as we move on. And 1/10 of a second on Rogeldorn right there. So Logan has a quick car, just does he have enough times? 5 laps to go here at Willow Springs. He does have enough time to do it, but does he have the speed in the car to be able to do it? That is the big question. I think, knock on wood, I think we have generally run it clean since all the calamity earlier on. How about Zayden Davidson? You know, when I gave you guys the points, you asked me, Eddie, where's Zayden Davidson? Well, I didn't put him in the points because we had that combination race last week, and all those East Series drivers had a better average finishing position in the points, and it was like, he's the only one who doesn't have points. It's one race, not a big deal. Well, he took that personally, and here he is, highest of the West Series drivers at Willow Springs. It's, like I said, not an official win, kind of like how Owen Miles was last week in the 15. But I'm sure Zayden Davidson is loving this. I'm sure Stewart's loving this. Brad Racing Technologies right on that car, leading the West Series guys, running 15th overall. We'll see if he gets any points there. Lauren Martinez getting a position, but that is not for points right there. But J.R. Ribbleton might try to get around Mauricia Vebelis for a point there in the West Series.
And for Zayden, it's also a miracle that he has this, because he has some damage as well. And I don't think there's been a single West driver that hasn't had at least some sort of adversity because they had to start in the back. And with how chaotic the first half, and maybe even first a little bit more than half of the race was, so has a fantastic lead at this point. Almost, I want to say maybe 10, 12 car length lead. So as long as he's doing what he does and doesn't get held up by any more shenanigans, it should be good.
I just want to 83 lock behind that lap.
Getting stuck behind Baranowskis here. You know, it still is a road course. Not as hard to pass here as it is at Circuit of the Americas, but it is still a road course, and if you don't find the right opportunity, you're not going to get an opportunity to make that pass. And Logan Williams trying to get around Audrey Baranowskis here for second. He's got to be careful not to let Blaine get in the mix either. And this whole field does not want to see that 14 have a good run. But it's going to be fascinating, especially once we get to the in-season tournament. I'm excited for that one. I don't know how much I really talked about this, but a lot of those traditional races, Armory Digital, Oregon, Hillside, and then it ends at Indianapolis. Only the top 16 drivers in points going into Armory Digital are going to be a part of that in-season tournament. They'll be seeded 1 to 16. Blaine Keys will probably be the number 1 seed of that, but each race, you're going up against somebody, and that other guy beats you, you're out. And an opportunity for these guys to beat Blaine Keys in something. You know, I'm sure they're excited for that, but we'll see what Blaine Keys can do in that. I know he'll be in that for sure, the way this season has gone. Rogaldorn looking to break the streak, you know, was number 4 that won last week. His driver, Ryosei Fujimoto, won the combination race at Coda in the BodyArmor LYTE series, and it was number 4 that went to victory lane, and Rogaldorn looking to bring number 4 to victory lane once again. 2.5 laps to go here in this Grand Prix of California. Logan Williams trying to take second. That's a good amount of points right there if he can get around the 1 of Audra.
And Logan's had a very fast car, battling with Stapleton earlier in the race, and I feel like he had a better car than Stapleton. It's just Stapleton raced him really hard, and then after pit cycle, Stapleton fell back, and now once again he's having to race Audra really hard, and it's just like, it's a road course, so it's very hard to pass, getting that right moment, and you just have to get the run off the corner, and it just hasn't been Logan's strong suit.
Ratton's fallen back a little bit. And so is Kochmer in the 46. Matt Tuck got around Kochmer, and then the 57 also. Jack Haas got around Kochmer. Kochmer in the last points paying position at the moment, but Grattan fell back to 7th right there. And Ludovic Schret is 5th in the 00 machine, and you know, these are the kind of drivers that, especially when we come to these racetracks where the ratings for the drivers really do come into effect, like the road courses, like the short tracks, like the regular speedways. Those are guys we expect to be up front. The super speedways are a bit of a different story, but Blaine Keys didn't care last week when it came to that Daytona race, and obviously got the race victory in that one. And here we go, Logan Williams, oh boy, to the outside up the hill. He had all the speed up the hill on the 1. And couldn't quite get it, and Baranowska's fighting for all she's got to get this second place position. 1 point on the season for Audra Baranowska's coming into this one. She's got an opportunity at a good run, but here comes Blaine. I'm telling you, he may end up getting second once this is all said and done.
Well, that was a complete track block for Baranowskis. She slowed she slid straight up the track to make sure that the 83 did not get to run up the outside. And yeah, that might give Keys the opportunity. We may see on the times intervals here that Keys has caught up to these two. But for Rogaldorn, I mean, it's always great to at least know by the end of 2025 you're going to have
there we
a win.
go.
And if you hold off, and there we go. Logan's going to get around Baranowskis. Not much they can do at this point. But as long as Roby Norton just, well, yeah, no. Travis, that noise was right on the money. Travis, Logan's got to really work to get the second position, and again, Blaine Keys is always hunting, so you gotta get by Baranowski quick. You will get around him. Huge, great run for Baranowski, by the way. Not a driver you'd expect to finish in the top 3 of the road course. But starting on the pole really helped. But yeah, Rogel Dorn.
Well, they're still going after it.
Oh, wow, Barrow just still fighting for that.
You know, she took advantage too of that pole position that she got, but I don't think she's going to be able to hold on the second. Rogel Dorn's going to make this one look easy, and he clearly had the fastest car here today. And it will, in fact, be Rogel's first win of the year, and I'm sure he will absolutely welcome this given the state of his Wawa Cup Series career at the moment. Rogel Dorn gets it done here today. He got into the series based off the Coke 600 win last year. A totally different race here today, but Rogel's going to get it done in the Grand Prix of California. Logan Williams, Audra Baranowskis, Blaine Keys, Ludovic Charette, Nathan Stapleton, Stuart Gratton, Matt Tuck, Jack Haas, and Leonard Kochmer all received championship points here today in the Pro Series. And Zayden Davidson, it's not an official win, but it's 10 points towards the West Series championship with this run here today. A great battle back here. J.R. Ribbleton will get the second position in the West. Mauricia Vebelis, Keegan Thompson, Johnson Jamison, Trey Wright, Rashia Mahendra, Henry Brown. Here's Marcus Glish in the 10, who really fell off there. And Owen Miles and Ryan Durrani, I believe, are going to get the last 2 points there. A lot of shuffling going on. Man, I'm sorry, Travis. Neither of your guys got points. That's
sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield.
Yeah. Well, some of these guys definitely were the windshield today. But it wasn't Rogel Dorn.
Sometimes you're the Warhammer, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. If the name ends up going through once, we keep it. Normally I wouldn't accept the fictional character, but we're too deep into it now. And Rogel Dorn has had quite a career here on the channel. And he's going to go to victory lane here in the Grand Prix of California. Hey, Pro Series field rejoice. Blaine Keys did not win today. I'm sure y'all are happy about that, except, of course, for Blaine Keys. The fastest lap of the race goes to Matt Tuck. That is Matt Tuck. Durrani's in the 0.54 for this one, so he's going to get the pole for Aguas Calientes in 3 weeks. You're probably thinking, what? What did he say? That is a great oval track in Mexico. Echo actually modified the I&I to make it a race very good, and we're going to be there for the Mexico 80K in 3 weeks' time, which will be a lot of fun for these guys. Rogel Dorn with the second fastest lap of the race. He will be outside pole. LJ Semedo, Ace Garcia, 83 machine there of Logan Williams. Audra Baranowskis with another fast lap as well. Blaine's going to be starting 9th in that race. Take a look at the rest of the fastest laps right there. I mean, at this point, you're probably not going to be able to figure it out because you got those West Series guys in the middle of all that, and it's a whole mess. But we're showing it to you for your reference if you know what's up. I know Eddie can figure it out. He knows more about this than I do. What a race here at Willow Springs International Raceway. Rogel Dorn gets it done here in the Grand Prix of California, and what a fun one that we had here today. But, wow. I tell you, we had some crazy moments there, especially if you were a West Series drivers. But thoughts on this one here today, guys. What a fun one here from Willow Springs.
I don't think I've called a race with you yet, Alex, that I can call a train wreck and still be completely correct. Because that, I think I say every couple of times that this was exactly what you want out of a stock car race. And this was exactly, I guess, what you would expect and want. Good battle up front, pure insanity in the back. A lot of things we're going to have to show you on picture-in-picture because you've already seen in picture-in-picture because, good lord, did they make absolutely no sense to us live up in the booth. And yeah, congrats to Rogel Dorn. I'm happy that he gets at least a win this year if Wawa Cup Series stuff doesn't work out down the road. And yeah, can't really send any of this to Duncan. I guess my one advice for him would be don't get stuck behind blown up cars.
Mm-hmm.
Or cars that cut down tires and stop in the middle of the roadway because, there's no shoulder to fall onto.
You might need to tell that advice to my driver.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
the nice thing is, well, I mean, I guess you can, that's always good advice regardless of where you go. But the Cup Series is going to be at Phoenix 2 days from now, so Cup Series won't be here. You've had a good season, Travis. It's worked out a lot better for you at this point this season than it did last year. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, finally starting off on the right foot. I mean, the past 2 seasons, really, the beginning of the season is so chaotic just because the ratings are so similar, and it's just bad luck to begin the season. This year we've had some good runs early, so if we can do what we did the past 2 seasons and end the year strong again and have a good start to the beginning of the season, I think it'll be a dangerous season.
Well, good luck on Saturday in the Castrol 500K. You'll see qualifying for that race tomorrow. And you'll also see the IndyCar Series from here at Willow Springs tomorrow as well. And Duncan Ward is in that race, Eddie, so, yeah.
Yeah,
watch out for that.
Yeah, I'll give him advice, but he is not. I don't know. He kept saying he had open wheel experience, and that's what got him got my eyes onto him. But at the same time, I don't think he knows his way around an IndyCar track as well as he does around maybe a stock car or a truck. So, I'll hold on to it. We'll see if Andrew can pull a rabbit out of a hat and get him into at least a top 5 or maybe even victory lane once this season. But, can't predict the future.
We'll have to
Wish
see.
I could, then I would have made sure Matthew Hubert wasn't my pick.
No, I mean, instant jinx, it just happens to everyone. Hey, Stewart did still get points, though, so Travis, you weren't as bad. You weren't as bad with that one there. Rogodorn gets the win here at Willow Springs, and definitely a wild race, no doubt about it. The points are probably going to favor Blaine Keys again with another top 5 finish, but we'll see you guys in 3 weeks' time from Aguas Calientes. It is a 0.8-mile oval, high-banked oval. It's a lot of fun. And you folks will see that March 29th at noon Eastern Time right here on AG the channel. And that's actually going to be the last race before the 10th anniversary race, which I promise I will get to, and we'll get the ball rolling on that here soon. But hey, huge thanks to Eddie Debs and Travis Graham. Great to have you back, Travis, in the booth, and hope to hear your voice in the booth a bit more throughout the year. Of course, good luck to both of you gentlemen on your Wawa Cup Series runs. Of course, you'll see that on Saturday at Phoenix Raceway for the 5th race of the season in the Wawa Cup Series. But Rogodorn gets it done here at Willow Springs. Here are the points for both the BodyArmor Pro Series and BodyArmor LYTE Series West. And on behalf of Eddie Debs and Travis Crampton, congratulations to Rogodorn, and I will see you guys later.
Panic decel.
Also lap 9.
Hit the wall.
He just spun it around by himself.
He said, "I'm a."
All right, you
He said,
use that as,
"Watch me whip this car."
You should just use that as black.
Tried to formula drift it into the corner.